Welcome back, everyone. Let's get our hand much more dirtier in list comprehension. Let's try to solve out much more interesting problems in list comprehension. Now, let's take a problem statement where I have to square numbers in range and turn them into a list. So this is my problem statement and I have to do this using list comprehension. So let me create a list square numbers. Square numbers will be the list name. Again, square brackets. Inside the square brackets, I need the square of a number. So let's say x equal to into 2 4, that is for the power x square. So 4, from where the x will be coming from, x in range. Let's start from 0 to 11. If I try to execute it out and check square numbers, let's print square numbers. So I will be having the square of all the numbers that are from 0 to 10. Okay, so 0 to 11 is the inclusive range, so we are not taking the higher limit, that is 11, so we are counting 10. So this is a square of all the numbers that we are having from 0 to 10. Okay. Now let's look into one more example. If we want to check even numbers in a range, so we will be doing quite the same thing. So I'm going to create a new list, even numbers. As this is again list, we are creating a new list, so it will be in square brackets. Now we are going to put an if clause over here. So before this, let's write it out using a for loop. Okay. So I have even numbers, which is an empty list. So for I in range, let's take 0 to 10. Okay, again inclusive range, so I have added +1. Now I'm going to do a quick check if I mod 2 equal to 0. That is the logic behind even numbers, which we have discussed while we were doing loops. Now if that is an even numbers, then I will be appending it back to my empty list. So even numbers dot append, and then I. Let's check even numbers now. So these are all the even numbers between 0 to 11. Now let's convert each and everything that I have done over here in using list comprehension. So let's write as enum. Okay, enum will be the name of my new list. So what I'm going to do is square brackets x for x in range 11. As by default it is 0, so I'm just going to mention 11 over here right now. If x mod 2 equal to 0. Let's execute it out and check if we are getting the same result or not. So print e underscore num. So we are getting all the numbers between 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay. So over here what we have done using 4 lines of code, we are just executing each one of them using a single line. So that's how powerful your list comprehension can become. And moreover, it has been often told that people who code in Python should be one-liners. What I mean by one-liners is try to write your code in one line, because Python gives a lot of new functionalities which no other programming languages provide us. Now let's look into a last and final example, that is nested list comprehension. As I've told you before, whenever I will be using the term nested, the meaning of it is one inside the other. So nested list comprehension stands for list comprehension inside one more list comprehension. Now before breaking it out, let's take this short example of squaring of numbers, which we did in the uh, previous example, that is for x in range, let's take 11. That's it. So we are getting this. Okay, 101, we are getting all the numbers. Now let's store it into some new list. So new lst. So let's check our new lst. New lst is this one. Now let's square them again. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create again a list comprehension. Inside of this x double square for x in new lst. So if I try it out, so it will square back all the numbers that are in new list. Now, rather than doing it by creating a new variable, assigning a value into that is assigning the value of list into a new variable, what we are going to do is we are going to automate it into a single line. So what I can do is, let's copy this code. Now, wherever there is new list is a variable, or that is, or it is a list which is storing another list comprehension method, right? So let's copy this out and paste it in place of list comprehension. Now let's rerun the code. So it is doing the same thing within a single line. So I have a list comprehension over here which is returning with this value, that is 0149 till 100, and then all the values are again powered up to 2. Okay, and we are getting this solution. That's all for list comprehensions. We have gone much more deeper into list comprehension. Now in the next section, that is file handling, we are going to discuss about how we can work with files in Python. So thank you very much. We'll meet again in our next section.